Welcome to District Dialogues. I am Marvin Arrington Jr., Fulton County Commissioner representing District 5. District 5 encompasses parts of the city of South Fulton, Southwest and Southeast Atlanta, East Point, Union City, and College Park. Some of the great landmarks in District 5 include Zoo Atlanta, the former Fort McPherson, which is now home to Tyler Perry Studio, the Porsche headquarters, Camp Creek Marketplace, and the Wolf Creek Amphitheater, my favorite. During this show, we hope to share information about organizations, initiatives, and resources in Fulton County and in District 5, and areas that I champion on behalf of Fulton County. So let's get straight to it. I'd like to introduce you to Lee Reed, the director of the Atlanta Citizens Review Board. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, tell us, what is the Atlanta Citizens Review Board?
Now, the Atlanta Citizens Review Board is an independent investigative agency of the city of Atlanta. What we do is investigate citizen complaints against Atlanta police and corrections officers. We also have a mediation program, and we conduct community education.
So now, why would someone want to file a complaint against an Atlanta police officer?
The way we look at it is that in order for us to have the best police force that we can have on the streets, when citizens have concerns, they need to file those complaints so we can address them, so we can make sure that if officers are doing things incorrectly or wrong, they can be held accountable for it. Because at the end of the day, we want a better society for all of us to be in, and a part of that is having a police force that respects and protects everyone.
And so tell us about some of the new things that you all are doing at the Atlanta Citizens Review Board.
Well, last year we started our mediation program, which creates a space for citizens and officers to be able to meet and discuss a complaint or concern that they may have, and hopefully be able to resolve it in a manner that's suitable to both of them. We also we're also able to accept anonymous complaints, so that if citizens have concerns about retaliation, they can file a complaint and not have to reveal their name.
All right, and what do you see as your biggest challenge in order to get your job done?
The biggest challenges facing us are making sure that the police department addresses our sustained complaints correctly. We have concerns about the level at which they respond to our sustained complaints. So that's one of our biggest challenges. The other challenge is making sure that citizens are aware of the agency and that they can file complaints with the agencies and that they follow through with them.
So, if you will, walk us through the steps for a citizen to file a complaint with the Atlanta Citizens Review Board.
Generally, a citizen would contact us on our website, acrbgov.org, or through the phone, 404-865-8622. Of course, we take walk-ins. Our office is on the 9th floor in the City Hall Tower in Atlanta. And I will want to mention that a citizen has 180 days to file a complaint from the date of the incident that they had with the officer. And we only investigate Atlanta police and corrections officers.
And how often, or when and where does your board meet?
Okay. The Atlanta Citizen Review Board meets the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 in Atlanta City Hall. Sometimes we're out in the community meeting, and if we're meeting in the community, we'll post it, let everyone know in time so that they can attend the meetings. We encourage people to come to the meetings, to be able to see how the board works, to be able to see the transparency, to be able to ask questions.
And how can our viewers find out more information about the Atlanta Citizens Review Board if they are interested in filing a complaint?
Certainly. They can find out information from us from our website, acrbgov.org. Certainly call us anytime, 404-865-8622. We're out in the community. I mean, if you have an event that you would like us to attend, you can contact us about that. We have Know Your Rights trainings that we provide to the community as a part of our community education. So we're looking for individuals to contact. We're also on Facebook. We're trying to move into the social media area so we're making strides to try to move into the social media area. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today, Lee. Thank you for the great work that you do. I'm glad to see that the city has this Atlanta Citizens Review Board. It's a great way for people to file complaints and to have those complaints addressed. And so it's great that they have established a system in order to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with our D5 Spotlight after this short break. In our D5 Spotlight, we give recognition to organizations and individuals who are striving to empower our communities and county. Our next guests are Eva and Tony Hill, founders of the Malcolm Omari Hill Scholarship Fund. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So,
Pleasure.
Who is Malcolm Omari Hill, and why is this scholarship fund named after him?
Well, Malcolm Omari Hill was our youngest son, and he was killed in a car accident on October 16, 2010, over off of 285 and 20. He was one of four young men in the car. He was in the back seat without his safety belt on. The other kid in the back seat without his safety belt on died as well. So we started a free instructional safe driving program, and we named it in his honor.
How has the loss of Omari impacted your lives?
As a mother, I can say my life has totally changed. In losing a child, there's a saying, children expect to lose their parents, but parents don't expect to lose their children. And that's very real. So my life has changed. What we have done is turn something very tragic into a positive situation through the offering of the Malcolm Omari Hill Free Instructional Safe Driving Program. And that has helped me through my grieving process.
And I guess, if you will, tell us more about the scholarship fund and how can people contribute and where can they contribute and who are the recipients and or the applicants?
Well, we target teens and young adults between the ages of 16 and 25. That's our target audience. And generally speaking, we get teens from 14 up to about 17, because those are the ones that are really interested in driving. So our scholarship basically is a free class, because if you go to a defensive driving school, those classes or this class will cost you anywhere from $75 to $95. So it's a scholarship in that sense, in that they get a free class. It's an 8-hour class. We go through a whole curriculum. And if we're doing the classes ourselves, let's say at Wolf Creek Branch Library, which we have one coming up very soon, we host the class for 8 hours, go through an entire curriculum. At the end of the class, we test them to make sure that they weren't sleeping and they were paying attention. And we then issue them a safe driving certificate right on the spot. So the certificate may help to reduce the cost of them being on their parents' insurance. So in that regard, it's a scholarship. And we've had over 60 classes since our son's death, and we have served probably over 1,000 students, because we have students calling.
Awesome.
For this week, we went to Langston Hughes High School. We went to Benjamin Banneker High School. We went to Westlake High School. Wow. So those have been, the classes, the schools that we've targeted this cycle for this particular class, which is at the Wolf Creek Branch Library.
And how do these classes, or how have these classes impacted the lives of the teens, the thousands of teens that you've taken through the class?
Well, our hope is that they will be more cautious, more aware, wear a safety belt, because that's a very, very big issue. A lot of young people, teens and young adults, tend to not wear safety belts. I've even had mature adults, 25 and up, tell me that they do not wear a safety belt. So really reinforcing the idea that in that car, you have to wear a safety belt. You should not talk on the cell phone. You should not text, because taking your eyes off the road for just a matter of seconds can cause a fatal car accident.
What future plans do you have for the scholarship fund?
Well, again, we want to expand it throughout the whole state of Georgia. We're allowed to go anywhere in the state of Georgia. We were in Columbus, Georgia yesterday. We have a class down there in Columbus, April 28th. We do them currently in Cordele, Georgia. We have a defensive driving school that partners with us, and they do our classes there. However, we're working on grants so that we can have an RV, so that we can have driving simulators inside the RV, and then we can move the RV around to some of these areas in rural Georgia that don't have anything. Matter of fact, the statistics show that more people are killed in the rural areas than in the urban areas. And then down the road, we have to keep our eyes and ears open for the driverless car phenomenon, because it's coming, and we want to be in a position where we can get some driverless cars and teach us, the seniors, how about getting in that car, because we've been driving ourselves for so long. So that's probably going to be the biggest group that are afraid to get into the driverless cars. The teens will probably have no problems with getting in driverless cars. But again, those are the kind of things that we're going to be doing in the near future, because we don't want our program to stop because we didn't prepare ourselves for this technology.
And do you have any good advice for teens or parents that want to drive?
Yeah, again,
Don't drink and drive.
don't drink and drive.
Number
I know
one.
that particular night they got in the car after sitting up. They left the car, an apartment at 4 p.m., going to a club. So we definitely don't want to have people on the road at that time of the morning. And then, of course, put on your safety belt, don't speed. So those are the kind of things that we reiterate in the classes, because everybody's doing it. 285 in Atlanta is the most deadliest highway in the whole country, mile for mile. So you get on 285, you come up 75, 85, and you see it. So those are the kind of things that we try to reinforce. The don't text, don't
Right.
cell phone,
That's a big one.
put on your safety belt, don't do the lane changing and all those kind of things that add to the inevitable crisis.
Because it's just in a matter of seconds that an accident can happen.
Yes.
You may think, I'm going to just take this phone call quickly, or I'm even conversating with a person in the car. It just takes a matter of seconds for a fatal accident to occur. And so you just have to be on your P's and Q's, aware at all times.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's probably easier said than done, but we all need to practice those safe driving habits.
Yes, I know I need to do better. Tell us how people can find out more information, or where they can go to find out more information on the Malcolm Amari Hill Scholarship Fund.
We have a website, and that website address is www.omari-scholarship.org, www.omari-scholarship.org. And there is a link on the site where you can click on and you can see the detailed information on our classes, the dates, the locations, and the times.
Or you can call our home at
Correct.
404-344-7119 and register that way.
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So glad to hear about the work that you're doing, helping our youth with their driving and improve their driving skills.
Yes.
It's just great work that you're doing, and sorry about your loss.
And we thank you for having us today, and we are very, very glad to hopefully save other lives, and you are empowering us to do that by
Well,
having us on the show.
The work that you're doing is truly a blessing.
We
Thank you.
We'll return with our arts and culture segment after this short break. Please stay with us. I am the proud executive sponsor in Fulton County for Arts and Culture. I also serve as the vice chair of the Atlanta-Fulton County Recreation Authority and as a member of the Arts Commission for the National Association of Counties, or NACO. As such, I like to share with you arts and culture organizations and programs in Fulton County. Today, please meet Sandra Hughes, producing director of Gateway Performance Productions. Welcome to the show, Ms. Hughes.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here and have this opportunity to meet you in person and to share some of what Gateway Performance Productions is doing in Fulton County at this time.
Well, we're glad that you can make it. So tell us, what is Gateway Production?
Well, Gateway Performance Productions is a nonprofit arts organization with a heavy emphasis on training and education that allows us to go into many of the communities in Fulton County to teach and instruct and take some of the work in the arts that people produce into the community and share it with them so the people in our communities have a voice through the arts.
And are there specific groups that you target?
Yes. As far as targeting groups, Gateway has been able to tour to like nationally to 36 states and to 13 other countries, but the focus of Fulton County has been, I'm one of the founding members of Gateway, the focus has been since its inception in Fulton County on at-risk and underserved communities. So when we are here, that is primarily what we're doing, although we do perform at art centers and work with other theaters. But so that focus, and Fulton County has made that work possible. We have an emphasis on creative writing. I teach at branches of the Fulton County Atlanta Public Library. Let's see, specifically right now I'm at the Southeast branch, and those classes are free to the public, as well as two of the senior centers that are with Fulton County, the Helene S. Mills and also Auburn Neighborhood Senior Center. Those are both in the Old Fourth Ward, and the creative writing that goes on in these senior centers is priceless because it is history and legacy, and we're hearing voices from the Old Fourth Ward that need to be heard and need to be preserved for the future, for people to know.
And what is your exact role with Gateway Performance Productions?
My role, I am the producing artistic director, so I work with my collaborators and partners in the community. The library and the senior centers and many other organizations are partner with us to make these things possible. And I am also a writer, a director, a choreographer, a musician, and a teaching artist.
All right.
Yes, and did I say performer? Yes, yes, I mean besides flute. So I work in all those capacities in collaboration. I've been doing that for many years. Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, what is, for the audience's purposes, what is the Mask Center?
The Mask Center is a project of Gateway Performance Productions. And so what that means is it's been around for 18 years, so it's a long-term project. And we have a specialty that we do performing in masks that we've done all over the world and for television and not radio. We've done radio, but you can't see masks on radio, so we didn't do that. But basically, so I've worked with a mask maker for decades, and he has hundreds of masks which have He's considered a master mask maker. So when you go to the Mask Center, you can see 40 to 50 of his masks. He works in all mediums. The masks are not cultural masks, except with one exception, which I'll mention in just a moment. They are theatrical masks designed for our productions. And he has some of his work. His name is Michael Hickey, and he has some of his work is in the Cochrane Gallery in Washington, D.C. He's won many national awards. So right in our little studio space, you can come and see these masks and enjoy them, as well as we do performances there and workshops. And the Mask Center also has evolved into a home for other groups that don't have their own spaces for rehearsals and performances, small arts groups, dance, theater, all kinds of things. And I just wanted to show you, I don't want time, like one of the accomplishments like from the Southeast branch of the Atlanta Fulton Library is that the writers there have produced a book of their writing, and it's available through the library and other places now. So these are actually things are actually being created and getting out there into the community.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today, and thank you for all of the work that you do with Gateway Performance Productions and in serving at-risk communities. The arts is such an integral part of our lives, and we're just thankful for all the work that you do.
Thank you, and thank you so much for all that you do for the arts and making the arts so important in Fulton County and enriching the lives of so many Fulton County residents through the arts.
I'm happy to do it. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like you to, as we wrap up today's show, I'd like to invite you to stay connected with our office. You can reach us by phone, email, website, and through social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching District Dialogues. We'll see you next time.